In space, there are some phenomenal opportunities. We're trying to disrupt the old way of doing things.
We want to be bold. We want to be looking ahead and around the corners.
Our vision and mission is very much to help build the space industry of Australia.
We have this history, particularly in South Australia with Woomera in the 50s and 60s, of being very much at the forefront of space. And then we had quite a big lull.
Australia for 50 years has been out of the game of space, and so we're getting back in. But it's an opportunity to sort of move faster than some of those traditional players.
When you're involved in the creation of a new sector like this, finding expert partners, others that are thinking as far ahead as you are, that's a huge, huge challenge.
It's not enough to have a good idea, because others can have that idea as well. What needs to happen is to be able to generate intellectual property.
In reaching our goals in South Australia, it's really about relationship building internationally. But having these really interesting sectors and really interesting jobs available is absolutely critical. So very much a part of what Venture Catalyst Space is about.
So I knew a lot about the science. The science is what I've always been passionate about, and the science is the things I know I can solve. Doing that within a company has always been a bit of a mystery. And my biggest challenges, I've always said, have been the unknown unknowns. So things you don't know that you don't know. And moving into a new area, there are so many of those things.
As an international student, there is a big challenge of to go out there, have your own business, especially if you have a science background. You need to have a team that you can trust, mentors that will give you confidence and also the right direction.
When I look to Australia because of the mining expertise that's over there. That's what I needed to have for Astroport to be successful. When I first started trying to make these connections on my own, cold calls, that kind of thing, I was not very successful.
When developing a company, it's very much necessary that we build credibility in the market and also for the investors. Why would someone invest in a startup or a company that is developed by undergraduate students, and how do you think investors will get that confidence?
If you're a startup company and you don't have much of a track record, you don't know anybody that might already be existing in this particular space, if they don't know about you, it's hard to get those connections made. The absolute fundamental primary requirement is to get involved and be present.
The Venture Catalyst Space program that I found when I was doing my research, once I joined it, the network that the Space Catalyst program has made those introductions easier. And sure enough, with the Andy Thomas Center for Space Resources, is now going to be our partner in developing the civil engineering processes that we need to develop.
You recognize a kindred spirit. And so by the time we were done with even just the first meeting, we knew this was a company that we wanted to partner with, and this is the beginning of a long relationship.
So these are very substantial and real projects that are going forward as a result of our association with the program.
Being part of this program clearly puts you on the invite list for these kinds of things, and that's where you really move ahead.
It's been a real privilege over the last 3 years to be really close to the Venture Catalyst Space program. I do meet with the companies that are particularly interested in maybe continuing their presence in South Australia, and how can we really make these companies feel welcome and become really, really networked into the ecosystem here.
Where we sit is we bring industry, academia together to help their growth. And mentoring is, it's circular. Like, I used to think that we were just here to bring sort of knowledge and a strategy, but what's really exciting is you see them reform, come back, and they've got ideas you'd never even thought about. We want to reduce those and remove those barriers to entry, get the companies up into space, prove their flight heritage, and then get them off and being successful.
And so this ecosystem has affected us positively in that it's just given us the framework to actually grow as a company. There's been enough interest and support in the area that we've had no trouble finding interested parties that want to test our technology or work with it or work with us. That concentration and interest really helps our technology develop and get into the hands of end users.
Some companies were like me, we just started a couple of months ago. Some were a little bit more advanced. Venture Catalyst Space gave me the skills to address a different audience and recruit those like-minded people to my company.
This is the biggest story I can tell about the Venture Catalyst Space experience. After a couple of months, we signed that first term sheet and we received that $2.5 million investment.
These are not small ideas, these are world-class cutting-edge capabilities, and it's just phenomenally exciting to see where they might go.
I feel that space industry in Australia is moving at a faster pace, and the ecosystem is designed in such a way to grow your company as a global space company. And we don't want to miss that buzz.
It's absolutely fantastic to see this current cohort. There is a great sense of alignment between what they are doing and what South Australia wants to achieve.
South Australia is a fantastic place for building a space tech company because they have the passion there themselves. They are fully committed, and they've got the network and the ecosystem there to support you.
These will become very successful companies and will build the ecosystem for the benefit for their companies, but also for the benefit of the state and the country.
The goal of Digantra is to change the way mission design and space operations are carried out in the industry today. We are Google Maps for space.
Firefly Biotech is going to be the company supplying the tools to support medicine to all astronauts and people living and working in space.
Our company is Spaceless, and we design ultra-lightweight, flexible solar cells, and they will revolutionize our daily life.
Astroport Space Technology is a space materials and construction company, and we're building infrastructure for the lunar surface.